this is Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher. Today is Tuesday, July 18th. Welcome back to those of you who are returning, and welcome to those of you who have just found me for the first time or were recommended to come over. I appreciate you stopping by to see what I have been working on. It has been almost 3 weeks, and I had every intention of doing a video on Thursday, and my kids have been home at camp, home in the pool, all over the place. So to get a little bit of quiet time in order to film has been few and far between this summer, which is fine, and I fully expected that. But I wanted to make sure to get back to show you what I've been doing and give you an update on what my plans are coming up and starting in August, and kind of what the rest of the year will be looking like. So first, I wanted to share 2 previous finishes with you. In thinking of what I wanted to share, I have a lot of stuff. So I thought, I haven't shown any previous finishes lately. I did take my Patriotic down, cleaned, and put out some kind of bees and sunflower type of decorations. And I put some pictures at the beginning of the video so you could see it. So I will show 2 of those right now. One of them, and this is called Humble Honey by Hands On Design. And when Kathy did this design, she had done it on black, and I did it on, this is a 25 count Lugana, and I don't remember the color. I'm pretty sure I have an Instagram post about it, but I got the idea to do it in these colors from Christy, who's Java Girl Stitches, and I love, this is one of my favorite pieces. And truthfully, I could really keep this out all the time. I also, one of the goals I have is to go through my stitching and like my decorations and pull out smaller sections of seasons, so to speak, where I'm not having to decorate for every single month, which is what I had been doing. Since I'm going back to work, I don't want to have that pressure to take stuff down and put stuff up, even though I love doing it because I like to see this stuff. I just know things will be a little busy and I won't be able to get to all of that. So I am doing some changing, having some more stable pieces just in my house to where I can put in a pillow here, a cross stitch there, kind of to supplement instead of full on having all of the decorations at one time. So I'll show you what I mean as I'm posting pictures, but that's kind of where I'm at as far as in my decorating and cross stitching and what I'm trying to accomplish. I also realize, which you'll see from my plans, once I go back to working and school starts, and it's not even the working, it's just the kids getting back to school, my time is going to be limited. I still will cross stitch. I still will do floss tube because this is what I like to do for me. But it's just going to look a little bit different, and that's fine. And I'll adjust, and I'm excited to see what it has in store. This is the other one I brought upstairs, and I don't remember what this is called. I will post it below, but this is a Stitching with the Housewives chart. And it's on a piece of 14 count Aida that I dyed. And I love this piece. It says, the buzz of the bees. And I think that's what the chart is called. But it's in like a white, so it's a little bit ghosty, but I like it. I love the finish. I have another finish on this same piece from Hobby Lobby, but it just stands by itself. And this is by my front door. So I just brought 2 of them up here to share today, and I'll bring some next time as well. I have a few smaller pieces, and then in what I'm working on, I have a couple of pieces that I like to try to get done to be able to put up with this decoration. And this will stay up until I decorate for fall. Like I'll add some fall pieces in because I feel like the bees and honey kind of go into fall. And then I have some Halloween pieces that I'll switch out after the bees go away and so forth. So I like to decorate. It gives me joy, and so does the stitching, but I want to scale back a little bit. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do today after that is I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the things I got, talk about the a couple floss tubers who I've been watching who kind of have had an impact, and just someone I was watching and I want to share. And then I'm going to show what I've been working on, and I'll do the giveaways at the end. So the first thing is I want to share a couple things I had got in the past few weeks or received in the mail. The first one is from Schmaltzy Craftsy. And this, I want to show you the card. This I have been waiting on for a while. I got this in person's Etsy shop from Kathy, who's with Linen and Scraps. And she was having a pincushion made. And so I went over to her Etsy shop and found one that I really liked. And this is what I had made. And it did take a little while, but it was completely well worth the wait. It's so pretty. It's all wool. And I'm not sure what it's stuffed with, but it's just beautiful. So I'm going to put this in one of my boxes to keep. And then she also sent some little rubber duck earrings with it. So that was really nice. And her name is Jen. And she was so nice and communicated well. So I knew exactly when it was coming, and she got a little behind, so she let me know. And it was just a pleasant experience to work and buy from her shop. All right, the next thing I got is this was the exclusive through the Homespun Needle Arts page. You cannot get this anymore, but it will come out at some point. This is Hannah Wilson. Yeah, Hannah Wilson. So the chart from Needlework Press. And then I also, to go with it, it all came together. You had to order the whole kit. Is you got the linen, which is Eureka from Fox and Rabbit. I got the Dinky Dye Silk. And then as an extra, LaDonna from Sampling of Memories did these cute pins. So I love this, and I'm putting this in my pile of things to do next year. So I already have a bag started of things that I would like to try to work on in 2024, and I'm just kind of putting stuff in the bag, and then when I get closer to January, I'll go and I will reassess in the bag. I also had ordered Mary Cornwall from Hands Across the Sea. I love that. And then I saw both of these and I didn't have them, and I love them. This is Patriotic ABCs from JBW. And I got both of these from my LNS, which is Needle Orts in Altamont Springs, Florida. And then also Seaside Alphabet. And these are older. Let's see. It doesn't say. Oh, this is 2013. And this one, the price tag is over the date, which I don't, 2014. So from 2013 and 2014, but I'll save these for next year when I'm doing Patriotic. And then I also, Chantel sent me these. These are her bow tools. When I make some ornaments later this year, I will be using these for sure. It is an easy way to tie and make a bow. And she has a tutorial on her floss tube channel, which is Chantel's 141 Design. And you can see how to use the bow makers. later when it gets closer to Christmas, I will be making some ornaments and I will be using those, and I'm going to try to film some tutorials making them, so then I'll be able to show you as well. But like I said, you can go over and see her tutorials. And then I think the other part is in my bags already, but I ordered this from Welcome Stitchery, My Country by Lottie Da, and I saw Shelly was stitching this, and I love this. So I ordered this, and then I had also ordered a Halloween chart, which is called Be Frightful. Well, it's a kit from Shepherd's Bush, but it's in a bag somewhere already. But I'm excited to work on that, and I'll share that in my other video that I'll talk about in a minute. All right, so that was my haul I got. The floss tubers that I have watched is, the first one was Katie, and her floss tube channel is So Tattered, and she's a new floss tuber. She has 2 videos, and she is great. She has so much stuff to share. She has a lot of great projects, and on her second video, which just came out, she went through all of her whips and showed them, and so many of them I have in my whip pile as well, but they're so pretty. So go check her out. She has just a calming voice and is enjoyable to listen to. And then also Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. I've been recently getting back into watching her videos, and she was doing a lot of starts. And she's friends with Yvette and Carol Crago, who I have become friends with Carol, and in turn Yvette. But they were doing like a Startapalooza, kind of is what it was. Lots of starts. And then Olivia is not going to start anything else until the end of the year. And so she has her whips that she started. So I think all of hers were new starts. In her wheel, which is one of the apps on your phone that you can download, and I also have that. And then she has a few assignments she's working on, and then she's going to spin her wheel. But go watch Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow, and she explains her whole thinking and process. But I was talking to Carol, and she was starting things, and Yvette was starting stuff, and I just starting more stuff. So I also have been going through a lot of my cross stitch things and organizing, which I'll talk about in a second too. And from that it all kind of came together, a plan from now until the end of the year. So Olivia was very impactful in that. And also I had watched Christy, who's Crosshatch Quilts. She had a new video come out, and she has some amazing finishes that she shows. And one of my whips was inspired from her, a Blackbird whip that she's working on, that I have a couple of the charts and was inspired to get working on. So go check them out if you don't already watch them, but you probably do, and enjoy, because it's very enjoyable. All right, now I'm going to show you what I've been working on. So the first thing I want to tell you I did in the past few weeks is I did organize all of my fabric, and I will insert a picture here of how it is organized. It is in like a clear plastic drawer mechanism. I bought it at Michael's or Walmart. I don't remember. I'll try to link one below for you that's like the one in the picture. And I went through all my fabric and I put it in piles by the dyer. So I have all the different hand dyed, and then I have a bin that's just random because I only had like 1 or 2 pieces from that dyer, and so that's in that bin. And I also have a bin that's labeled Zweigart, and so that's anything that was Zweigart, but everything else is by designer. And it has been really enjoyable to go and pull fabric for some of the projects that I've started recently, because I know the ones I like and kind of remember, okay, I like needle and flax and I like this color. So let me go to the needle and flax drawer and see if I have it. I like fox and rabbit, this color, let me go look in the fox and rabbit drawer. So it's been really fun to be able to find my fabric, because before it was just in those, like a 3 plastic drawer thing, and everything was just thrown in there. There was no rhyme or reason. And I didn't even know what I remembered what I had bought, but I never knew where it was. So that's been really nice. I also went through all of my whips and kits that I had in project bags. Most of them I took out of the fabric project bag and I put them into the clear zipper plastic bags, and I separated all of that by designer. So all of my Stacy Nash is together, all of my Blackbird is together, and I tried to divide in the bins. I put the whips, I put patterns, and I put kits. And if I had too many, then I put them in a separate spot. But that has also been nice because, for instance, Christy from Crosshatch Quilts, she was talking about that she was working on the patterns in the For the Bird series. I knew I had them. I went to the Blackbird bin and they were there. So having it separated by designer is nice. I'm using and I'll put a picture, I'm using the clear plastic bins that I had separated my things into for the months, but I just took the months off and I broke down the designers on the bins, as you can see here. And some of the bins have more than one designer because I only have a couple patterns from some people, but then other designers I have a lot, and so they have an entire bin to themselves, and some overflow. Some of them have multiple bins, so it kind of depended, but I'm liking my system I have now. And then my plan before I made another plan was, as I picked up a whip, I would go and put it in a fabric project bag, which also got me going through my bags, and for different reasons, I like this one or that one or whatever. And I was choosing which bag went with the whip. I don't know what I was. So, but I like having them in the bag, the clear plastic bags, so that I can see what is in the bag, opposed to them being in the project bags and I have no clue what's in what bag. I'm searching for XYZ pattern. I can't find it anywhere. So that's really helped. So that all spurred on what I'm going to do for the rest of the year. So in the meantime, this is what I worked on. So that's a lot of talking and not a lot of showing. Okay, so the first one I want to show is I started, where is it? At Home by Brenda Gervais. And I love this pattern so much. This is the pattern. It's so pretty. And I know Chris, the camping stitcher, is working on it. And Lauren, the New Hampshire stitcher, I think she got hers. I don't know if she started it. I know she was really wanting to get hers started. So I started it right around the 4th of July. And so I put it in this bag, which I bought from Christy from Crosshatch Quilts. And the bag just makes me happy. So this is where I got so far. So I was able to do a lot of the border, and then I kind of snaked my way down to getting to the house so I can try to get to, well, right now I could fill the whole roof in because the roof is solid, but I wanted to try to get into building some of the house. So as I have some retreats coming up, I can just do some fill-in on this piece. I will go back and when I work on this next and try to connect the whole border, and then I can also be filling in the border as I go as well. But this is just, oh, it's so, sorry, it's falling all off this thing. It is just so pretty. And you know I'm a sucker, as I'm many others, for any Brenda Gervais chart. So I just love this. So that was the first whip I had. And then I worked on for a long time and before I picked this up. And I was kind of waiting to pick that up until I had finished my Plum Street Sampler American Welcome. And I got so far and then I kind of hit a wall. And so I decided to just put it away and start at home. And I will come, when I come back to this, I will probably work on it until it's finished, because I don't have that much more to do, but I just kind of got sick of stitching on it, which it's kind of funny because I love it so much, but I needed a break. So this is American Welcome. So I did all the border. I got the houses. I need to fill in this last house. There's a few little things up in here, and then the whole water down here with the boats and the words. So it'll be a couple days worth of work to finish it, and I will be very excited when it's done. But like I said, I just needed to have a little break and stitch on something else. But I just love this so much. Oops. And again, this was a retreat piece for the Farm Girl Dry Goods retreat this past spring. So it will come out in a year as a general release. But as part of Michelle Rudy's Patreon, she was able to secure kits for those who were in Patreon to buy. So I will get back to that when it comes up in my pile of whips. I also, as part of Christmas in July, I did have the itch to do a little bit of Christmas stitching. So I had picked this up, and I shared this last time, I'm pretty sure. And I'm using all the called for colors on the called for fabric. And I was able to, I had up here in this corner. And so I was able to come down, get the tree, and get the whole house outlined. And I need to go back and fill in the windows so that I can again have another house to be filling in at a retreat. So again, I love that piece, and we'll get back to that. The called for is 36 count Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. And if you see the picture, it does look lighter, and I considered switching to something closer to the picture, but then when I started stitching on Saltbush, I really liked the colors on fabric, so I stuck with what the called for fabric was. This one is fun. They're all fun, but this one's just for fun. I have had this in my stash for a while, and I have not stitched it. And Nicole Spohr got me and Chantel on stitching Lizzie Kate. And so I picked out, or I had, let me show you the one I'm doing. It's the Lizzie Kate, the Merry Christmas by the letter. And this is what the whole thing looks like. So it spells out Merry Christmas, and this is the one I'm doing. So I started with the letter M. I did pull my own colors, but I pulled them close to the colors in the chart. It's on 36 count Hemingway. and it looks so good. I'm loving the darker fabric with the brighter colors. It's just so pretty. So I didn't get very far, but I was able to outline the red, get the white in, and then start on the words. And so I want to get back to this for sure. I don't think this will get done this year, but you never know. I could get on a roll and get stitching it. But like I said, I'm enjoying the, like, look at this, the bright colors on the dark fabric. It's really pretty. So that was one of my Christmas ones I had going. Okay, this is the For the Bird series, which I started after I saw Christy from Crosshatch Quilts. I'm doing them all individually, and I happen to have this one, which is number 5, and I have number 3. So I'm going to be, someone volunteered to lend me the other ones. But I started with this one because that was my favorite between the two. This one, which is number 3, Sing a Song of Seasons, calls for 36 count Wren, which I had that. And then I had in my stash, I'm pulling all of this, most all of this stuff, let me say, because I did buy some floss for some of the other ones, has been pulling from my stash. So I went through bags of floss and I found all this floss. So this is all the called for colors, except for 2 of them I had to substitute. And I got the top border done. And this is 36 count Wren. So I'm really excited to get back to this. And as I get them done, I will look for some frames. I like how they have, they're not the exact same frame, but they look very similar. And I probably do something similar to the idea Christy had, where I will stitch also Winter's Past, I think is what it's called, and then put these with it. It all matches, and it also matches my bedroom, which she talks about. It matches hers too, so I'll probably be putting these in there, but I'll get them all framed individually as I go. But I'm really excited about those. And those are small. They're 5 by 5. So those are kind of a smaller stitch to balance some of my bigger pieces that I have. Because I was realizing I needed some smaller pieces that I could finish. Because I just keep stitching and I'm making progress, but I'm not having a lot of finishes. So that gives you the momentum to keep going. I also pulled this out, which is Humming of the Bees by Blackbird Designs. And this was a whip that I had started already, so I just picked it back up. I have, let's see, this is 36 count Heartland by Picture This Plus. And I'm using most of the called for colors, and if I don't have the called for, then it's something that resembles the called for. So I had the border, the green on the border, so I filled in the pinks and the reds. And then I had, I think, A and B stitched, so I stitched the rest of the letters that I have that are on there right now. So I still have to go across and stitch more letters to get the top. But this is another one I would like to try to snake my way down to get to the house, so that I can have some more house fill-in. It just, to me, it makes it, one, it's nice to take it to a retreat, like I said, and many other people talk about this, but it also helps to break it up so you can, like, do a little border, do a little house, do a little border. So it's not like you're not stitching the same thing over and over, and you can kind of pick and choose where you want to stitch on the pattern. So that's how I like to do it. Other people like to just go all the way. All right, what else did I work on? Okay, I have 2 big, oh, this one too. Oh, actually, yeah, this one. This was one I had got. This was part of my haul, actually. And be kind to one another. I love, sorry, the long band sampler look of this, and I don't really have anything like that. So I thought that would be a nice addition to having something different. This is 36 count Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim. And again, all the called for colors. And I just was able to put in a few stitches at the top up here, but I'm excited to get to this. And I also have, she has two others. The only one of them is the Be Exceedingly Diligent is here. And I have that one. And then she came out with another one at Market, which is more of a rectangle. And I can't remember what it's called, but they all go together. So I would eventually like to have all of them stitched, but this is the one I wanted to work on first. So I'm excited to get back to that one. And then I have two big pieces to show. And these are going to be like focal pieces that I'm going to work on every month, are both of these until they're done. And then the other whips that I have, which I'll get to in a minute, will kind of be chosen at random. But these will be two samplers that I will work on until I get them done. So the first one is Mary Ewan, which is, this is the new Queen of the May by Hands Across the Sea. And I'm still trying to decide exactly what I'm going to do, because, so I started down here in the bottom, because the part I love the most is I love this bottom part. But then I also like the Lord's Prayer. I just don't know if I want to stitch all that over one. So if I don't, I might just stitch, like I might only stitch the bottom and get rid of that, and then potentially bring the top border down. I've been playing around with it, and that's something that Kim, who is Contented Needleworker Kim, she does a lot. She just does part of the chart, which is kind of where I got the idea from for this. She wasn't stitching this, but just to take part of it. So I did start at the bottom, so I'm going to stitch up, and then when I get to the top, get to here, then I'll decide what I want to do. But what I have is, this is 40 count Alcott by Needle and Flax, which I got this at Keepsakes at StitchCon, and the color is perfect to match. And I ordered from, I hope you can see this, I ordered from Hoop and Frame the 103s. So I have those to stitch this with, and I am loving how they're stitching. Here, let me do it without the board. I just love the stitching. It's so pretty. And I am really enjoying the Needle and Flax 40 count. It's really nice to stitch on. So that is one that I will work on. And I am also going to try to go through and separate it into sections. So I kind of have, it'll be like Olivia, she has from Pumpkin Hollow, she has some assignments for the month. And so this will be one of my assignments that I have broken up. And my goal is to get like this section done for each month. And the next one, which this one I had already started, and then I decided to restart it on 40 count because I'm crazy apparently. But this one, after I saw Sarah W. from Handmade by Sarah W. finish hers, which this was her birthday start from last year, I really wanted to pull it out. So this is Miss Lucy 1826, And originally when I started it, I started right in the middle and I was trying to do that flower. And I just kept getting frustrated because it was hard to do. And I really wanted to get to the border. So again, like I said, I like to do a little border, a little motif, a little border, and so on. Well, when I started right in the middle, there was no way to get to the border without stitching all of this or going all the way to the bottom. So I just decided to restart it. And I wasn't very far, so it wasn't that big of a deal. So I did pull out a piece of 40 count Overcast by Cedar River linen, which this piece of fabric is amazing. And if you don't have any Cedar River linen, I highly suggest getting some. And this is how far I got. It's not that much, but it's a start. So I started, like I said, the border and the basket. And you'll notice that my border is blue and the border here is red. I am using the color changes that Sarah made, which there is a blue in the pattern, and it is DMC 3750, and that's what I'm using for the border. And then I'm also going to do the house in blue. And I will link her Instagram below. And she also has a floss tube, handmade by Sarah W. And her finish is amazing. And so this is also going to be one of my other focal pieces. And like I said, I think I'm going to try to break it up into sections so I have a goal of what I'd like to complete each month. Obviously, if I don't accomplish it, it's not a big deal, but then it might help me to know if I do this much, then I can work on some of the other projects, and then I'll be able to have them completed. Since both of those pieces I'm going to work on until I get them finished. And then once those are finished, then I'll go to some of my other larger samplers and pull one out. I do want to get back to Lucy Barber, which is a Hands Across the Sea. And I have some other large pieces that I'd like to get to, but I'm thinking I'm going to use those as kind of each month I'll work on until I get them finished. And then I can also do some of my other things as well. Okay, that is all of the whips I have. Oh, one more. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. This was one I started the other day. I forgot about this. And this was inspired to start from Anne, who is from 1803 Ohio Farm Baskets. She showed her stitching. She's not done, but she showed her progress on Instagram, and her picture made me like look, and I kept looking back, and the picture of her stitching is awesome. And I loved this already, but then when I saw her stitching, I'm like, okay, I need to go kit this up. So I got this kitted up and I went ahead and started it. I happened to have the called for fabric, which was Baked Clay by Fox and Rabbit. And I had all of the floss for the whole thing in my stash. So I kitted it all up and I got started last night. I started in the middle, and I went because I wanted to get all the border outlined, and I'm going to finish over here. And then I can start filling in. And again, if you can't tell that I like houses, this has, if it doesn't fall down, this has a giant house on it. So again, another great retreat fill-in or mindless fill-in, like while I'm watching TV and I actually want to watch the TV show instead of just listening. So I'll get that too. And this one I also thought was so fun because the roof is like checkerboard, and anything checkerboard I like. So I am excited about that one as well, as all of them. I always say I'm excited. I love it. But I wouldn't be stitching it if I didn't love it or I wasn't excited about it. So, oh. Okay, so for my, what's coming up, what I've decided to do, and it's, I still have a couple things I'm trying to finalize on for myself, is I went through all of my whips as I was cleaning, and it kind of reinvigorated a love for some of them, and they weren't really on my radar, so to speak. So I pulled those out, and I had, like I mentioned before, I had some new starts going on. I had some Christmas, some fall, some just general, all of them I wanted to work on. So what I decided to do is use some of what Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow is doing, and I chose a specific number, which you'll find that out when I do the whip parade, of projects. I put them all into a wheel on the app on my phone, like I had mentioned before also. And those are going to be my, I did not. Oh, sorry, my watch is talking. When I finish my assignment, so on my 2 big samplers, I will spin the wheel and choose a project to start, or to not start, because I've already started them all, to work on the whip, and I will work on that. Now, I'm not limiting myself. I'm not giving myself a specific, you have to work on this for this many days or this many hours. I'm just going to spin it. And if whatever it comes up with, I don't really want to work on, then I'll spin it again. Some of the projects are small, some are medium, some are big. I tried to choose, because I'm going to do this through the end of the year. I tried to choose either things I had just started or whips that were fall, Halloween, Christmas, and then I have some just kind of generic sampler type of things. So I had a variety. I have some monochromatic. So I should not get bored with what I have. Everything I picked, I absolutely want to get done. And anything else that I had that was a whip, because yes, I do have more whips than I will show, I put away. So it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. This is where I'm going to focus, accomplish the goal, and then I'll move on from there. Because I was also getting really overwhelmed with what I had. And not that I don't love all of it, but it was just, there was too many choices to be made, and I needed to narrow the choices down. I don't want to speak to what it will be like, but I feel like once I get back to working, I'll probably be more into pick something up and stitch on it for 4 or 5 days and then put it down, and not so much switching back and forth. But maybe I will want to switch back and forth. I don't really know. I keep talking like I know what's going to happen. I don't. But I know that it won't be the same as it is now. That's the point. So that's where I'm at with that. I will have, in the next few days, sometime, I'm going to try really hard before the weekend to film a whip parade with all of the whips that are in my wheel that I will be working on from now until the end of the year. Also, there's some exceptions, like I have a birthday start that I'll start in September. There's at least 1, if not 2 or 3 things that are coming out, or by designers that I kind of am anticipating coming out, that I will probably start. I'm participating in the Friend Stitch, both of the Friend Stitches, so I might want to work on those. So there's a couple more things that might come into the mix, but in general, these are going to be the projects that I'm going to work on from now until the end of the year. So I'm very excited about it, and like I said, Olivia's doing something similar. I think Katie, the novel stitcher, is potentially doing something similar, not I don't think she has as many going on. Like I said, Carol and Yvette, I know they started a lot and they're going to try to do something similar. So, and both of them are on Instagram, and I'll link their Instagrams below. So that's all I have for today. I'm going to share the winners of the giveaways, and then I have a couple things to give away today. I'm also still working to get to 10,000 subscribers, and once I get to 10,000, I will have a big, like a celebration video with special giveaways and just a really big thank you to everyone who's followed me, who's been with me since the beginning or jumped on the train as it's been moving throughout this whole experience. And it's so surreal because I never imagined a year and a few months ago that I would be doing this and that this would be so much a part of my life as it is, and that I love it so much. And my kids can tell that I like it. They always ask, is this person a Stitcher? Is this person a Stitcher? And they're really interested. My middle daughter, who she's 4, she is trying to get the needle. She's trying to take my Kohana scissors. She wants to sew on my sewing machine. So it's really fun. And I hope that they too will have passions like I do that really get them excited. So, all right. So these were the giveaways from last week, and I will put the winners. I'll put the names of the winners. The first one was 12 Christmas Vintage Series by Crochet A Go-Go. And the winner I'll put right here on the screen. Congratulations. The next one was Spot of Christmas by Little House Needleworks. And I will put the winner here. The Cricut Collection Free Range, I will put the winner here. And Peppermint Lane, same thing. The winner is, and I'll put their name here. And also just a reminder about the giveaways. Make sure that you send me an email to sweetwaterstitcher@gmail.com with your name and address and what you won. And then you have a week or until the next video to respond, or else I will put it back in the pile of things to give away. So for this week's giveaway, I have some charts that I found. And they're all kind of Christmassy because we're still in July and still going along. All right, so the first one is this is the book of ornaments from the Jingle Ball from last year. This is number 1. And to enter the giveaway, you need to be a U.S. resident. You need to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and then just let me know what you're stitching on, or if you have any plans for the end of the next 6 months to the end of the year. And if you have no plans, that's fine too. Just like and subscribe and use the numerical numbers. So if you are interested in the ornament book, this is number 1. And these are all the ornaments that are in the book. And I had an extra one of these, so I'm going to give one of these away. So this is number 1. Number 2, this is Vintage Christmas by Flamingo Toes. This is number 2. Number 3, this is Christmas Deer by the Primitive Hare. And this was, I think this was an exclusive at Kitten Stitcher. So this is number 3. And then number 4, and this is, you guys will think I'm crazy, but I just do not see myself getting back to this. It is Snowballs for Sale by Lori Holt. It has all the floss. And I have it almost all stitched. So this is number 4. If you want to rehome and finish my stitching, this is number 4. This is the called for 25 count Lugana, all the floss and the pattern for Snowballs for Sale. And that is number 4. So number 1 again was the Jingle Ball ornaments. Number 2, Vintage Christmas. Number 3, Christmas Deer. And number 4 was everything to finish Snowballs for Sale. And it's almost finished. All right. So if you, again, are interested, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all of the things. And until next time, I hope you guys get lots of stitching in. Stay cool wherever you are and have a great rest of your week. Bye, guys.